at least you have heard my name. My name is Swami Ishatmananda. I took sannyasa in 1986, and I got sannyasa, not took. I got sannyasa in 1986 from the Swami Gambhiranandaji Maharaj, but I was initiated by Swami Vireshwaranandaji Maharaj, the 10th president of the order. Then, as usual, our organization, they send in different places. So I was posted in Advaita Ashram, the publication section, and I was there for 12 years. Then they posted me for 2 years in the school as a Purulia Ramakrishna Mission. Then from there to Andaman to develop a new organization over there. So there in Andaman Island, I was for 8 years. And when it was all right, then suddenly the present President Maharaj he was the General Secretary. He came and told there is another challenge for you and you have to be successful there too. So that is Narottam Nagar in the Arunachal Pradesh. I spent in that jungle for 12 years. So I'm a jungle man, so I don't know how much I will be able to speak about the philosophy of Buddha. But the Lord Buddha, the embodiment of Dharma, so that is our topic today. I will start, yesterday I was reading, so in the meantime I went to a place, Saudi Arabia, the Riyadh, to attend a one-day program. And this is the first time in the history, the heartland of the Muslim, is Islam. They were organizing a all religious meet. So I was very busy, but still I never wanted to miss that opportunity to be there in that historical, and huge thing they have made. But I didn't say anything, but I chanted Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's Pranam Mantra over there, and that was the thing, all this. Now, day before yesterday, I came, and now I'm here before you. Immediately after this discussion, I will have to go to our Detroit. Swami Sarvadevanandaji is also coming over there to inaugurate a new temple over there tomorrow. So saying all this, let us begin with the last words of the Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha, the compassionate one, we are not Buddhists, we are Hindus, but we love to read his biography, we love to discuss his philosophy, we love to listen about him. Why? Because he was full of dharma, righteousness. And what was the righteousness? The first thing that we learn from the Buddha, the great compassion. And sometimes people, they talk about that the Buddha, when someone was dragging a goat to slaughter, and he told, why you are going to kill that innocent beast? Instead, you better kill me. So that is the story always we quote to show his compassion, but we forget that the food that was served to Buddha, that poisoned his body, and he was dying. From the deathbed, he called his disciple and follower and friend, Anand, and told him, Anand, you must take care and you must promise that nobody is going to harm that person. Not only that, you should, before anyone says anything against him, you should say, Buddha blessed him because the two food that has changed the life of Lord Buddha, the fast the Sujata gave, and I got the knowledge, Buddha Tahut, after eating that food. And today, that gentleman, he has given me the food, I'm going to get the nirvana. So these two food are blessed food. So no one should say anything against that man. That is the great compassion. He's thinking the man who gave the food that was poison and he was going to die, and look at his compassion for that person. And that is why he is God. We consider him as God. So what is religion then? It is compassion. It is love. It is all love that embraces everything. Dear devotees, friends, Almost all of us, right from our childhood days, we are following religion in this way or that way. But have you ever thought how much we have evolved in these qualities? So that is exactly what the Buddha is teaching. He never talked about God. He never talked about any other philosophy. All philosophy developed afterwards. But he talked about what we should do. Now he said, the, he who gives away shall have real gain. He who gives away, that was the last. And when he was lying on his deathbed, all the monks and the nuns, they gathered over there, and he was addressing them. He who gives away shall have real gain. He who subdues himself shall be free. The righteous person cast off evil, and by rooting out last illusion, do reach nirvana. So this is the Buddha's last words. And he said, Ananda, then he was crying, noticing that the Lord Buddha said, this is also very unique. He said, Ananda, be earnest in effort, and you shall soon free from evil, from the sensuality, from the selfishness, from the delusion, from the ignorance. The Ananda said, what I am going to do without you? Who will teach me? Then the Lord Buddha said, I am not the first Buddha, nor shall I be the last. In due time, another Buddha will arise, a supremely enlightened one, endowed with wisdom in conduct, auspiciousness, knowing the universe, on an incomparable leader of men. He will proclaim a religious life wholly perfect and pure. So I am reading from the last versions of the Lord Buddha that he gave. And here we find that he is giving a hint the Lord Buddha is not the last one. And why I am mentioning this is very important this way. Majority of the people, they always say, whatever our teachers say, that is the last. And after that, nothing will be there. So this is, they close the path. They never keep it open for the others to research, others to come forward. If this is the truth, then anyone, anytime, anywhere should get the same result if we are following those same disciplines. So that is scientific. But when someone says this is the last, and no one else will be able to, that is not correct. The Lord Buddha kept it open, and he said, after me, many will come. And when he says, when Ananda asked, how shall we know him? The Lord Buddha replied, he will be the embodiment of kindness, Maitreya. He will be the embodiment of kindness. So what is then the Dharma of Buddha? It is kindness. The kindness, though, the word that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, that it is the compassion, the word that the compassion, the kindness that we use, that also gives us something like we are supreme than the others. So I am compassionate. So I am just helping you. I am showing kindness to you. But it's not like that. This is the way, when the Buddha is giving the teaching, he said, how you will know the person after me, who will be the leader? He said, this is embodiment of kindness. This side. It's okay. At the last word of the Lord Buddha, he addressed all the gatherings. Dear brethren, he said, behold now, the decay is inherent in all component things, but the truth will remain forever. The truth will remain forever. Satya. What is that Satya? What is that truth? This is called the great understanding. Decay is inherent in all component things. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you remember death all the time, then you can get the liberation. How? Because when we are going on thinking about the death, we know that any time I may die. I won't get attached to the things that I am with. So that is the teaching. Buddha is also giving the last word that after that, he entered into nirvana, he passed away, and he is telling that death is inherent in all component things. So look at it, at last moment also, the philosophically is so perfect, inherent in all component things. Anything that is more than one coming together and forming is going to break, is going to die. Then what is not going to die? That one. The one which is without two. So sometimes the young Narendra, Swami Vivekananda afterwards, he said to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Lord Buddha never believed in God. But the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he immediately answered, no, he didn't say how he can express and whom he will express. If we afterwards will come to that, the great teachings of the Lord Buddha will find he is actually teaching us morality. That is very, very important. Without preparation, when we go for plucking the fruit, that is the spirituality, we make mistake. I always say that the human life is like a tree. It needs a root, and the root is the economy. Without the good economy, proper economy, a very poor person cannot think of anything but food. So when you will think about God, so economy is the root. The moment the economy is good, then there is chances that we use that money, use that wealth in a wrong way. So that is why the stem is the education. The root and then the stem, that is the education. Two types, one mundane education and spiritual education. And spiritual education will continuously go on giving high moral values, teach moral values. Otherwise, our nature will drag us down to the animal level. So that is the reason the more and more we learn about the morality. And then third comes. This is first is the economy, the root, then the education is the stem, and all the branches and the leaves and the flowers, everything is a culture. And the culture is so beautiful, varied cultures are there. But ultimate thing is the fruit of that tree, and that is spirituality. So if we like to go to the spirituality, we have to cross through all this. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Khali pete dharma haina. You cannot practice religion in an empty stomach. That is the way we have to develop. At the time of Buddha, our India was a prosperous country. So he never talked about that. The people were well off. That was all right. So he talked about the morality. And when we are going to the spirituality, the ultimate fruit, the first step that we do is the ritual. And they stopped the ritual. Some of the people in the Buddha's time, though he was protesting against the ritual, too much of ritual that was practiced by the Brahmins at the time, he was protesting against that. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, Buddha was a rebel child of Hinduism. Not that he started a separate organization, separate religion, separate philosophy. He was actually a rebel child of Hinduism, and he was protesting against all the practices in those days. But whatever it may be, afterwards, people, they separated and they made a different philosophy. Buddha never said like that. He was born in a Hindu family. He took the initiation from a Hindu guru. He practiced in the Hindu meditation, Hindu way. He developed all in the Hindu way. And suddenly, what is it? He was going to give us the truth, emphasis on the truth. Again and again, he is urging us to understand Don't depend on anyone. You have to practice this. You have to do this. Then when he said like this, after the Lord Buddha's Nirvana, this Devaputta, his son, the Rahul, he was known as the Devaputta. He said, O brethren, the earthly remains of the Blessed One have been dissolved, but the truth which he has taught us live in our minds. Let us preach to the world with compassionate and merciful hearts the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Paths of Righteousness. Let all take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Here begins an organization. The Lord Buddha, he was collecting the people, giving them the ideas, and this is the first time in an organized way. And Buddha is the first spiritual organizer. See, he organized a group of people who will go to all corners of the world and teach people morality. So that very simple way he is teaching. But the thing is, the first and foremost, they called it Four Noble Truths. The first truth is origin of suffering. What is the origin of suffering? Dukkham, dukkham, sarvam dukkham. He said, the origin of suffering, shadavikara, right from the birth to death, all the changes are painful or suffering. Now, what do we want in this world? What do we want? It is all want only three things. Everywhere, all people, all beings, they want only three things. First, they like to survive. No one wants to die. Each and everyone want to survive. And second, we like to know. And in a very bad manner, we go on gossiping, but that is also a type of knowledge. Do you know what he did? Do you know what she did? And then go on discussing on that hours together. So that is all gossip that we do. But what? Actually, the basis is the knowledge. Though in a wrong way, we are utilizing that. So knowledge is the second. And third, and the ultimate, we want only joy, happiness. We never want to suffer. No one wants to suffer. Everyone wants the joy. So this is the ultimate truth. Then where is the suffering then? The Lord Buddha is telling the suffering is your attachment to the world. And you are accepting this world as a reality. So afterwards, the philosophers, they are explaining this. He said it is suffering. But the application of that was little wrong on the society. This life is full of suffering to whom? Who has understood it? Who has understood through the experience? And sometimes some people, they get the experience, then only they learn. Then if you say, if you put your finger in the fire, it will burn. Then some people say, no, I don't believe. Let me try. He will put his finger, and after getting burned, only learn. There are a type of people. And someone will hear and understand it's true. It is burning the wood. It is burning everything. And it is no wonder that it will burn my finger too. So they learn by that way. And that is the reason when we are not in that capacity, what we should do, we should allow them to continue. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says that one who is not understanding this, don't try to force them to understand it. It is not necessary. Nabuddhi bhedam janayet ajnanam karma sangina. Those who are try to get something, some enjoyment, oh, well, let them do that. When slowly tell them, see, you are suffering by this way. Someone likes to drink. Okay, go ahead. And after that, he's suffering. He has to go to the doctor for treatment and this. So look at this. Because of the bad habit, you are suffering. Other people also, we can say. So that is the example. You must learn. So that is the way, unless and until we are matured to understand. And if we impose that knowledge on every one of us, what happens? Hypocrisy. So that was the wrong thing happened when everyone was put into that one, that this world is suffering. And hundreds and thousands, they started leaving the world, taking up a gerua cloth, saffron cloth, and following the path, not prepared. Then what happened? They secretly started doing all the wrong things, bad things, bringing down the ideology. And that is the reason afterwards Swami Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came and he married, and he showed before us, even from the householder life also one can realize God, and it is possible. So this is the, I am telling the one truth. It is not Lord Buddha's the wrong thing, or he did the mistake. It was the application. Sometimes when we criticize, we forget one is the truth, but the application of the truth should be proper, and that depends on us. So he said, first is the origin of suffering. Second, the first is the suffering, origin of suffering, the second. What is the origin of suffering? It's the karma phala. The Buddha also accepted, because like the Hindus, they are also accepted karma phala. The karmic theory, that is now the present world is also trying to understand and accept. But otherwise you cannot explain the why two child is taking birth at the same time, same moment, one in a rich man's family and right from the birth enjoying, and the other in a such a in a poverty-stricken family right from the birth suffering. Why? The two souls. Why they have born? Just accident? That it happens? Not like that. Each and everything, that is the Lord Buddha is telling, each and everything having an effect because of the cause. The cause is karma. Because of your bad karma, you're suffering. You must have to. That is Hindu also, they believe in that way. So he is telling origin of suffering is the karma. So what you can do, knowing this, you can control yourself. Third, the extinction of suffering. It is possible. When you are suffering, you can stop that suffering. How? That is the fourth path that lead to the extinction of suffering. So this is the way the Lord Buddha, very simple way, the fourth noble truth. Is there anything very new? But he puts it in a beautiful way. First, everything is nothing but suffering. Why? Afterwards, the Mahayanas, they said, just like the Vedanti, that this world is nothing but Maya. That is all illusion. And a lot of debates are there, but to whom it is illusion? Right this moment, I am talking to you. I don't feel that is illusion. And a little earlier, that at the breakfast time, I was hungry, I was eating. I never felt that is illusion. And when we are pinching our own body, I don't feel it as, I can really feel the pain. Then what is this illusion? And the Vedantin will say, it is because this moment you are conditioned in this way. Suppose, they will always give the example, the child is playing with the doll, and that little kid can hear the crying of the dolls, and they can feel that they are hungry, and they will talk to the dolls, and they will prepare everything as their mother is doing, copying that. But for the child, it is a true world, real world. It is not a dream or imagination. But the one sitting over there, maybe the grandfather, watching the baby playing over there, he will be smiling. When the child is saying, this doll, then they'll be giving the name, is all crying because he's hungry and I don't have milk, I have to bring the milk. All those things she'll be going on telling, the grandfather will enjoy. He is not going to suffer because he has gone out of that. And he knows everything is imagination. If we can imagine this scenario, we can imagine Lord Buddha looking at us and smiling. You are not suffering, my boy. It is all imagination. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, what do you think that you are imagining? Everything is imagination. If you think you are happy anywhere you are. If you think that you are suffering anywhere you are. It is your mind only. So the suffering, when the Lord Buddha said only one word, suffering, dukkham, dukkham, sarvam, dukkham. Sometimes some people, they criticize, oh, this is a very negative way of looking at the things. No, that is the truth. That is the truth. The more we go, more we grab, more we suffer. And that is the example. Everywhere, every time, we are having that. The rich people, then sometimes I give the example because it is America, then one who is running for the highest post of the presidentship, and he is all attentive and spending so much of money, energy, and afterwards, when he is successful, for the 4 years, he is the king of the whole world. Then after 4 years, again he is coming back. Of course, not like the ordinary level, and he will have one place, a road will be named after him, and there'll be a museum in his name and all that. But whatever, when he will see somebody else, and he will think, oh, why I could be over there, suffering. Go and ask all the retired presidents, sir, you need not to disclose it publicly, but just tell me, are you happy after retirement? None of them. Though they are having everything, even then. So where is the happiness? So the Lord Buddha said, everything is suffering. When you think that this is, I'm going to achieve, for that I'm suffering. After the achievement, how to hold it, how to have it, that is also again suffering. Then when it is lost, again suffering. So suffering everywhere. And cause, he said it is karma. Very strict and very straightforward. It is your karma, don't blame others. Swami Vivekananda's The Cup, the beautiful the poem that he has composed, there he is very clearly mentioning, your friend, you see, he is walking on the petal leaves because of his karma. But I have put you into that path. Every step you will bleed, but that is your path. The dark drink of your fault and passion ages long ago. This is all your karma. Don't blame others. When I am suffering, I should say, yeah, because I did something wrong. People are not appreciating me. Maybe that's something not in me, so people. So like that, if you are constantly analyzing yourself, you are becoming more and more perfect. And lastly, he said, the path that lead to the extinction of suffering. So what is the suffering? The Shadavikara, that's the Vedantin they say. The Jayate, Asti, Bhartate, Vipariniyamate, Vipakshiyate, then Mriyate. I'm telling the Sanskrit, and in English, right from the birth and then growth, then sustaining, then again decaying, and ultimately the dying. So who is suffering? One who is existing. So who is suffering? The moment we think about it, that is a very unique thing. Am I suffering? So who is suffering? Is my body suffering? No, because when I go to sleep, I don't feel that suffering. When somebody insulted me, I was suffering, but then I was looking at a movie, a funny movie or something. I got engrossed into that. I was enjoying the movie. I forgot the suffering. It is not the body then. Who suffers? Mind. What is this mind then? The mind, the flow of thoughts. Then why I am suffering? Because that thought of suffering is coming in my mind again and again. Suppose I forget that. I can overcome that. I can stop that. Then there is no suffering. So that is the reason we have to understand. And in an example, Lord Buddha, he went for begging. He was a king. He was a prince, very good looking, well built. When he went to someone's place, it was drizzling. And that man opened the window and told, hey, why you are not working? You're a strong man. So why you are begging, depending on others' food? So he went on criticizing Buddha and his the monastic life. Then after he completed, the Lord Buddha, standing there quietly, he said, sir, can I ask you a question? And what is that? So suppose you like to give me some gift and I don't accept that. Where the gift will remain, where it will go? Why you are asking this question? It is simple. If I am giving the gift and you are not accepting, all those things will remain with me. Then the Lord Buddha quietly said, all the abusive words that you have given me as a gift, I am not accepting. It is all yours. Now, who is suffering? If I think I am suffering, I am suffering. If I don't think I am suffering, I am not suffering. So this is the secret of happiness. If we can understand this, because it is so difficult with our ego, why he has not done this, why she has not said this, why that, who am I? So this is the problem with us, because we practice religion, we think that we are practicing religion, but our ego is pumping and becoming big and big and big. It was better that I was not practicing religion. It was all right. But after coming to the holy place, then getting association with this, then started thinking I should be this, I should be that, then unnecessarily we are suffering. So we have to understand this. First word, first teaching. That's why they say there's a great noble truth. Everybody knows, everyone knew that this is only suffering. But when the Lord Buddha says it's a noble truth, the suffering, this is the suffering. And who is suffering? I, because I am misunderstanding myself. I am not the body. I am not the mind. Then who is suffering? This is the question. If we can analyze, if we can get the answer, then you are getting the nirvana, complete freedom. Then the third, he says, you can go beyond that. And fourth, by practicing some disciplines. To achieve something, you have to practice something. You have to do something. Why? Because with the mind only. Mano eva manushyanam karanam pattamokshaya. In our scripture, in English scripture, it says, the cause is the mind. And the mind will give you happiness. And mind will give you all suffering. I was looking at the pictures they were showing. The war is going on. And everything is devastated. Everything has broken down. All the elderly people, they are all frowning. They're thinking what to do and what not to do. But the children are playing over there at that time also. That they got something, they started playing 2, 3 of them. Why? Because their mind is not thinking of those. Of course, you can say it is ignorance. That's true. But at the same time, when knowingly we come out of that, we become free. Friends, allow me to give an example. Long before, when I was in Brahmachari, I was in Advaita Ashrama, Calcutta, and there I met one person. Every day, almost every week, we should say, every week he used to come and purchase some of the books of Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, and he used to send it to post it to the London, the same address. Then after 2, 3 times, I got curious. And then, if you don't mind, if you want to send, I thought he wants to send many copies of the same book. So I thought we can do it in one time also, in the same. Why every week the same address, the same book you are posting? Then he said, do you like to listen to my story? I don't know, what is that? Then we went to another room, we sat, and he said, I'm a practitioner, doctor in Great Britain, in London actually. And I thought that I should marry from here. I'm a Bengali, so I came to Calcutta. Then with some relation, then I got a I married a lady, I took her to London, but after reaching over there, she left me with another person. I cannot accept that. So I am sending these books to her. Suppose she opens and read, so her mind may change and she may come back to me. I told you are a doctor and you know what is this mind. And how long you are married? 6 months, almost. And the whole life, you have your own life, you have developed. And now, only for 6 months, you're destroying this just because someone behaved like that. Please sit down and think. She is simply trashing all those books, not ever opening the packets. Your effort is of no use. Only your suffering is going on increasing. What you should think completely in a different way. God has saved me from that lady. Now I am completely free. Oh my God, I was suffering. And now it is better. I should not. So that way, you better think in a different way and you be happy because it is your life. If you are suffering, you are suffering. Nobody cares about it. And some of your friends will listen to it and they will smile and enjoy this story. And apparently before, in front of you, they will say, oh, is it very bad? We are all with you, etc., etc. Don't take it in that way. You forget that. Take the legal action and whatever, free from that. 6 months before, I never knew her. 6 months after, I am forgetting her. That's all. So this is called mind control. The mind is nothing but the thought. And if it is painful thought, we think and it is painful. The Lord Buddha says it has a cause. The suffering as a cause. And you must pinpoint that cause. This is called dharma. The dharma means you have to be happy. If after practicing religion, after visiting the holy places, after meeting the holy people, if I suffer, then what is the use of this dharma? Use of this righteousness? I don't think. It should be, result should be there. And if I am reading all the scriptures book and not happy, it's better stop that and read something else. If I am visiting every day the temple, still I am not happy, stop visiting the holy temple. So effect and the result in my personal life, whether my guru was a great person, whether my religion has so many, it doesn't matter at all. It is my life. And how long I'm going to live? Because of the modern time, good medicine and all that, 80 years, 90 years, that much. And these 90 years, I must, first 10, 15 years, it was not in my control. Then from the 20, I can say it is in my control and I must enjoy the life. How? By following the dharma. And what is that dharma? Understanding. This world is full of misery. Today, he is my friend, my sister, my brother, and we're growing up, then there'll be, the maturity will come, everybody will go for his or her own way. I should not suffer by that way. I will have the compassion, I will have the love, whatever I can do, I will do, but without expecting that they will also do for me. If I do that, I will suffer. So this is then he is telling that who is suffering? This is the physically we are suffering, then we are mentally we are suffering, and then comes the consciousness. This consciousness, the ultimate thing. So if we can understand that, and how we can go beyond that, then the Lord Buddha is giving some practices. The first is the theory, and second are the practice, and very simple practices. It's nothing like the Vedantin way. So who am I? What is it? Nothing like that. Very simple steps. Why? Because he was for the masses. He was for the masses, and the mass, they always think a very simple way, and the only goal, I should be happy. The Buddha is giving the 8 steps for the masses. And first he told right understanding. What is the right understanding? It is the karma and the effect. That is the understanding. I should know why I am suffering, because I have this type of desires. I am telling you frankly, I have diabetic, but I am not at all unhappy. Why? Because I have enjoyed sweets. A lot of sweets I used to eat, and then I enjoyed my almost recently only this suffering, and the doctors asked me not to eat the sweet. That's okay. But I know that so many years I have enjoyed my sweet, and that effect is this, okay. So what to do? I'm not going to blame anyone. I have enjoyed. So what is there to suffer and why to fear? And people will be selling healthy food, this, that. After healthy food, how many years you are going to live? Maybe hardly 5 years. Don't bother about all that. Enjoy. So this is my philosophy is not in a bad way, but in a proper way. Don't suffer all the time. Oh, I cannot eat this. Oh, I should not touch this. Oh, I should not smell this. What is all this? So this is the way. Be everywhere, as Swami Ranganathan used to say, international brain and international belly. Anywhere, anything, all the time we are going to accept it, no problem. So friends, the cause is a misunderstanding. So we think that I am going to live all through. Suppose you are living 125 years. Are you enjoying? You cannot walk, you cannot do this thing, then people will be lifting you, and somehow you are looking. Is that living? It's better to die. So that is the way, is a heroic way of life. Approach should be heroic. Who is criticizing? I am so sorry they are criticizing. Let them criticize. I go like a lion. I don't bother. So that is called life. Life is to enjoy. Life is to live righteously, not other way, in a very righteous way. How it is possible? Understanding, right understanding. I am born and I'm going to die. That is right understanding. I am in the physical body and many components, 5 components. So naturally it is going to break and it will be suffering will be there. So no understanding, proper understanding. When I am crossing 50 and different type of ailments will come, it's okay, it's no problem. I am not going to suffer for that. Let it come. Normal body will go. So, one of the direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Shivananda ji, he used to say, whenever the Swamis asked him, Maharaj, how are you? He used to say, oh, I am happy, but my body is suffering. That is the approach. Your body is suffering. It is body is suffering. What I am going to do? I am not suffering. So this is the way, the right understanding, right mindedness, the free from lust, ill will, and cruelty. Right mindedness, that is the thinking. The first, he is mentioning that you should not be attached with all these physical things, too much of it. And then ill will. Physically we are not doing, but thinking, oh, he should suffer, this should happen to him. He, she, these, that, whoever comes close to us, we become immediately critical to them. And we think about in that way. That is very, very wrong. In this country, I am only 9 years. And in 2013, I came. And I saw so many wonderful devotees. And all the Indian devotees, all are highly educated, well-placed, doctors, engineers, and the professors, scientists, all of them. But unfortunately, when they come, and very, very gentle way, they'll be criticizing each other. I don't know why. They have come to the ashrama, they have come for the blessings of God, but not understanding that after few days they become acquainted And then all these things will, Swamiji, you know, they are studying this. Swamiji, you know, they are doing this. Swamiji, you know, and why you are bothering on all those things? Come and meditate before Sri Ramakrishna. Come and cry before Sri Ramakrishna. Come and say, I don't care about the world. Only I care about myself. Please make me free of all this suffering. I don't like to get entangled. Any little, whatever work I've been given, I will perform, my Lord, with all humbleness. Why we are doing? They come over here, they sweep the floor. A great professor is sweeping the floor, and happily. That is called the good work that he is doing. Happily means I am doing it for God. And when they are doing it for God, don't bother about who is saying and who is not. Know it for sure, your mind is become purified. So that is called right mindedness, right speech. I should not say anything that hurt others. You know, the karma of three types. One is physical karma, second is mental karma, and third is bhachika, the word. And sometimes some people, they use some of the words that is harming for others. And they think, I didn't do anything, I was just there. I understood in that way, I said like that. No, you have heard. So the bad karma. Effect, so we have just heard from the Lord Buddha, everything based on the karma. And karma, three types. Physical karma, mostly we restrain because it is civilized society. Mostly we restrain. But the mental karma, no one can control you. The police cannot enter into that. We were going on thinking, and that is the dangerous thing. So you have to develop love. You have to develop sympathy. That is your responsibility, not of the scripture, not of the guru, not of the God. It is your responsibility. I am not going to think any bad about it. Whoever is complaining about somebody else, immediately we think, well, they were having so many good qualities. Now, if they have said or done, maybe something wrong, something. I am not going to take it immediately. Let me see. That is called the right approach, right speech. Then the right action. Obviously, it will be the right action and right living, mundane and spiritual. The two different types of groups of people are there. You know that as in the Bhagavad Gita, they say there are 4 different types of people are there who come to God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna has also said it depends on the temperament of the people. I have seen the husband is so devoted, but the wife said, no, I don't like to visit the ashrama. Rather, let us go to some park and these and that. Different types. And sometimes opposite. The wife will be so devoted, husband will never come. So this is all individual. So obviously, what is the action? Abstaining from killing. And what is this killing for? I am giving the suffering for joy. That is the killing. And abstaining from stealing and unfaithful sex. So these are the very basic moral thing the Lord Buddha is teaching. What is the dharma then? Dharma means restraining. He is not saying that you should not do. He is telling you must restrain yourself and don't do it illegal way, which is not allowed. You should not do that. Right living, the mundane and spiritual. And in the spiritual life, what the monks are supposed to do. Dharma palan, dharma shiksha, that's all. The monks are supposed to do dharma palan and dharma shiksha. We are not going to get involved in the politics. Sometimes some people, though they are monks, they get involved in the politics. They forget that that is not the right approach of the monks. The monks are only to practice religion and to propagate religion, that is high moral values. So if we are not practicing ourselves, so obviously we are not thinking, oh, this is not necessary. We go and spend some time in the politics and grabbing power Monks means giving away everything. The moment you go to politics, politics nothing but the grabbing power. It's completely opposite, like the darkness and light. So you are not understanding what is your responsibility. Bhagavan Sri Rama, that was, we said, that he is an avatar. And what he did taught us what is the responsibility it should be. Bhagavan Sri Krishna practiced those. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna elaborated those. What is that? Wherever you are, you know, many of you have read the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and there the Master Mahasaya is coming to him and asking, can I become a monk? I don't like this householder's life. Sri Ramakrishna said, no, you are already married and you have the responsibility. At the time of marriage, you took the oath that whatever it goes, I am going to protect my wife. That is the oath you have taken. You cannot break it. At the time of sannyasa, we take some oath. I am not going to harm anyone. That is the main oath. And Swami Vivekananda, he mentioned in his poem, from me no danger be to aught that live. From me no danger. I'm not going to harm anyone because I don't have any selfish motive. Oh, he is my brother, I will prefer him. She is my sister, I will prefer. No preference. Whoever comes, a good person, I'm always with him or her. So that should be the monks. And in the mundane life, that they are also, we should be truthful. Keeping the words is the dharma. I always say like that. You don't bother about scripture, don't go visiting this temple, that temple, holy days, that Govinda. If you go to the South India, the people will go and they will be walking for hours together. But they are not practicing only the dharma. That is, if you have given a word, your promise, you must keep it. As a king, as a ruler, I have promised I should keep. As a husband, as a wife, as a teacher, as a policeman, each and every one, we take the oath. And that oath should be kept. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra said, Raghukula Riti Sada Chaliyai, Prana Yau Bru Bachan Majai. The Bachan Baddhata is the dharma. Here also he said, right action. What I have decided, I have taken the oath, I'm not going back from that. Right living, and ultimately it says right effort. So how I am trying to do it. And right attentiveness, all the time mind should be alert. I'm a monk. This is my responsibility. I should always follow that. I'm a householder, and these are my path. These are my responsibilities. I should follow that. And that way, in a detached way, if we are doing the action, we get the liberation and right concentration. And ultimately, when we are practicing this, the mind will become completely free from all attachment. When one can meditate, one can meditate when there is no attachment, because there is no other thought. And when there is no other thought, automatically it will come. In the passages, there are different types of philosophy in the Buddhism, they crop up. One is the phenomenalist, another realist, another idealist. And afterwards, they assembled 2-3 times, and all the religious leaders who were there with the Lord Buddha, they remembered his teachings and they started telling, I heard Lord Buddha said this. So they collected those things and they started keeping in 3 baskets. And sometimes it is the discipline that the new recruit should follow. A monk or a nun should follow. These are the things. That's called Sutra Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. There is a Pitaka means the basket. So Tripitaka is the religious book of the Buddhist. Friends, I should conclude because the time is up and then I have to go also. So wonderful that you gave me the opportunity to discuss about the Buddha. And in conclusion, I should say, Lord Buddha said the same thing which we are practicing following the path of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda Masarada. What is that? Right way of thinking, right way of living, and ultimately the right way of understanding and going beyond the bondage of birth and death, where we will be only in joy, in happiness. So that is the ultimate goal of Vedanta, and that is the blessedness. Blessedness means the full knowledge that I am not this body of the mind, and all around me, whatever it is my imagination. So I am completely free. Whenever I like, I can just enjoy. Whenever I like, I can go beyond this. That is the dharma of the Lord Buddha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.